Hello lovely people, James Morrison, James Social Cycling. How are you all doing on this Easter Friday? So this bank holiday, Good Friday. Hope everybody is well, hope everybody is enjoying the weather. Excuse the noisy little birds. Anyway, just wanted to, as the title said, wanted to talk to you about mental and physical health. Obviously, I've suffered from depression and anxiety, and these are funny times. The Covid-19 lockdown, the whole situation is just absolutely mental. So just thought, why not sit down, have a chat, and see if I can bring some light, bring some ease, or offer some advice to you lovely people. I know some of you are suffering. I appreciate that. I know some of you are not. But I think even for me, I think it's very strange how the situation is just making a lot of us feel just very, very weird. You'd expect someone like me to be sort of worrying a lot, anxious, a little bit anxious, not so much depressed, but a few butterflies, but you'd expect it to be a little bit more, to be fair, but it's not happening that way at the moment, and I'm quite grateful for that. We've a little bit of an issue with our boy. I know there's a lot more people worse off, but Brennan's been suffering from a little bit of IBS, we think. We haven't taken him to the doctors. We spoke to the doctors last week after 2 weeks of him suffering, and it was 3 weeks on Wednesday, and it's just you don't want anybody suffering, especially your son. And it's a weird one. He broke my heart the other day because he was. I said to him, we've been trying to be sort of positive with him and tell him how strong he is. So he's just, I can see him in the window, in front of the TV. But we've been really positive with him, me and Anne. So, and I sort of mentioned to him a few days ago how strong he'd been, and he kind of sort of looked at me and he went, well, how? And I was kind of like, you've been strong about it. Because it's starting to do is nothing, to be honest, after 3 weeks. And we said, well, I'm crying when I'm on the toilet and I'm crying when I'm in the shower. And I was like, what? It was mental. My heart broke. So I told him from that point on, ever feels like crying, he comes and sees me for a hug. It was just, what else can I do when your boy's having a bit of trouble? So, and he's actually, fingers crossed, feeling better today. So hopefully that's the turnaround. I got him some tablets from Boots yesterday, so I'm hoping that we're maybe turning it around, but we don't know yet. We're just, even he's being not even a bit of optimism, to be honest with you, but then he's been suffering for the last over 3 weeks now, so I expect that. But anyway, so I was at a WebEx meeting yesterday afternoon, and it was just over 2 hours, to be honest. And I remember about an hour and a half in, before I'd gone up to the meeting, I said to him, basically, if there's anything you need me, come and get me. And he come up, it was about an hour and a half in, and I could see him at the doorway, so I'd already muted the video call and just disappeared from my screen and had to give him a hug. And I think just being there for him has been massive. Anyway, don't want to bore you to tears with that, apologies. But even that in itself is a strain, he's in a bit of pain. He's in a bit of pain for all the day. He's spending, don't know how long on the toilet, but not really only going in the morning. But too much information this is. But as I was saying, it's basically an added worry for us, because you know, a boy can't go out on the bike, he don't want to go out for walks, he just basically doesn't want to leave the house. But anyway, hopefully we're turning on that. But then that's just something that adds to the stresses and the worries of what's going on at the moment. So I've got some notes, all right? I never usually do script, I just blab, as you all know. You get too close. Got myself a coffee. Been coffee since the lockdown. We've been cafeteriaing. I had no instant whatsoever, so we've been living life of Riley. Food from all the farm shops locally, Riverford. So, you know, taking that worry out of it. And Riverford have been brilliant, by the way. You know, just fantastic. They have helped us out loads, I have to say. You know, we're getting 5 meals, recipe meals, and some fruit and veg. Next week we've got they've finally been able to put us onto a salad box as well. So brilliant stuff. You know, I can't thank Riverford and Patricia enough. I obviously can't thank the NHS, everybody that's on the front line, all your supermarket workers. I can't thank any of them enough. You know, when we go to when I even down to the bakery today, out for the ride, I took a little fold away backpack, you know, the old string backpacks that you can put, and I put one of them in my pocket, and while I was out grabbed a couple of loaves of bread from them, you know, and they're in the same boat. They're opening up to help the local community, basically. So there's a lot of people to thank. I'm not clapping though, right? But there's a lot of people to thank, and I think when we get through this, then's a good time to thank them. All right. So, but as I was saying, I've made some notes. So I'm going to go off on a tangent. You know I do. You have to excuse the hair. It's a bit more of a Clark Kent look. I just, because I haven't done anything with it, it's trying to make it look as though it's half decent without any product is not easy. But yeah, so made some notes. So I'd like to talk to you obviously just about managing things, just basically giving you some ideas on how to manage things. It's not going to be easy. It's not easy. What we're coming, so we're Friday now. Tuesday will be 3 weeks. The government are bound to put us on lockdown for another 2 weeks, probably another 3. Again, I just don't think that they've got enough information at this moment to let us know that we can go back to normal. There's a lot of talk, and this is disinformation, all right? Misinformation, disinformation, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to get political on this, but I just want you to check your sources, all right? If you see someone write something, and this is part of my rants, you see someone write something, check it, find out why, find out what, check proper, go to don't go to the papers' websites and check it, because you're never going to get the right information. Go to the government website and check what they are saying. You know, it's always best to just check the information before you go blurting it out, basically, because otherwise it's just you've just, all you're doing is disinformation, is spreading that information, or true, it's negative information. So not getting political on this, all right? Not getting political. I'm not going to have a rant. All right, I'm trying to hear, this is a mental and physical health. This is just basically a feedback on what I would offer for you guys to do, and I've got some notes. I may go off piste. You know I will go off piste. I'm always going off piste. So first of all, I'd just like to talk to you. Do you work from home? If you work from home, then there's a good possibility, like me, I'm fed up with the laptop. I cannot look at the laptop anymore. Fed up of social media. I've just absolutely had enough, and I've been asked if I could take some holiday. So me being me is looking at next week. So I'm off next week. So I was off from today, back to work the following Monday. So let me just get the dates right so you know where I am. So back to work on the 20th. Okay. The good thing about that is I've only taken 4 days off, but the boss has asked if we could, and I appreciate Why is asked? Because what will happen is if this does go on for however long, we're still going to be sat with all of our leave, and fair play to them, we've been working from home, and I've seen too much of my colleagues, I have to say. No offence if any of them watch this, but usually I'm out on the road and I talk to them every other day. But with sort of WebExing every other day is a bit of a nightmare. But anyway, so claim your space, okay? So if you're working from home, this is for you. So claim your space. Set up a designated, organised area, workspace. So then basically you can go there. I've been doing the whole thing of sitting on the sofa, which basically is supposed to give you a bad neck and a bad back. Doesn't mean sofa's comfortable. It's my comfy place. But I've kind of moved upstairs because whenever I'm down there, I'm always thinking about picking up the laptop and maybe doing something. But yeah, at the end of the day, make your space. Make sure that you have all the tools you need. So laptop, remote login, good internet connection. We've got two lines coming into my place, and do you think that one of them, we've got 12 meg coming into both of those lines, up to 12 meg. And sometimes at the moment I can test the Vodafone and the TalkTalk, and one day the Vodafone was giving us bloody 212 meg. Uploads, forget it. Download, obviously, and streaming. And the TalkTalk was the same, but then everybody's at home, so obviously we're feeling that. This obviously minimises noise and any distractions. So if, like me, I'm upstairs at the moment, the laptop's up there, so I'm just chilling out up there, doing my work. If anybody needs me, they can shout up the stairs. I'm at the top of the stairs, so it's no hassles. So it minimises any distraction, means that you can get on with what you're doing. Basically works very well. So also setup. So again, I'm going to look at this just to make some. I've made some notes. All right, I'll show you. I've made some notes. So also pay attention to ergonomics. So make sure that you're comfortable. Another thing is obviously sitting in the same position. Like I don't do. I sit a lot because I drive. But because I don't sit in the same position, basically you're looking, leaning forward, the way that you're stretching over, like now bringing the camera to me, so then I'm a lot more comfortable, so I can see and relax. And that's basically the ergonomics. Make sure you're comfortable and you're not, like you are on the bike, guys. You don't sit out on the bike and go, cool, that's not very nice. Don't worry, I'm still going to do 30 miles on it. You make sure you're comfortable. So just make sure you're comfortable. So claim your space. Office, make sure it's in a different area. Make sure you go there. It's more for me, this is, because I've only just, after 3 weeks, nearly 3 weeks, just moved my stuff upstairs back into where my office is. Work for success. I hate some of these. You'll have to excuse some of my sayings. Sound a bit corporate, but now, they kind of say get ready for work, but I find myself not getting ready for work. I find myself sometimes, because of Brennan not being well, by the time I get up in the morning, he's in the bathroom and he'll be in there for a while. So you can imagine, well, you can't imagine. I might put a picture up of what this looks like when it's not got any product in it. But that is me in a pair of shorts, sitting lately on the laptop, on the sofa, bang, job done. I might get my breakfast, I might get a coffee going, and I am on it. No hassles whatsoever. So, establish work hours. Establish work hours. We've been given a daily exercise, and I have to say I'm the worst one for this, because I haven't been taking the daily exercise. The problem is usually I would probably go out for a walk with Brennan if he felt up to it. If I was busy at work, I'd probably not. I remember, I think it was last Tuesday, I remember just after lunch sitting down, it must have been about 1:30, Boom, 5:15. I was like, where's the day gone? You know, when you're working on something that completely takes your mind out, you're gone. Cybersecurity is one of the things. There's a lot of spam going around, and I've been caught. I got caught on my, and I felt stupid for it, because on my Microsoft account, they must, I was stupid, so I ended up set, and luckily enough, they're not looking for any, they're just looking to bugger you up. So, and I'm usually really good, very good. So just make sure that you your cyber security is up, and any spam you get, just, you know, no website, no banking or email site will ask you to sign in. Bang, there, they will ask you to sign in, but you'd have to go and sign in through. So always be wary. Click, always, if you've got phishing, usually click the name or the email that it's come from. Right, they sent hundreds of emails over a couple of days before I found out, but I've changed all the details, and luckily enough I haven't got any money if they've got my account details. Create daily lists. So again, so if you've got work to do, then basically create a list. I hate to say it like you to achieve your goals, but you know, to be fair, my boss has created our list, and every time we get to get a WebEx meeting, that list added to. But I've got to be grateful that I'm still working. I've got to be grateful that we're still being paid. So, you know, don't think I am ungrateful about that. And log out of preferred social media. Social media is basically a massive, it's a massive one to take on board, isn't it? A massive one. I'll come back to that. So that's, let me just have a quick look. I just want to make sure, so work. So yeah, stay in contact with some colleagues as well. If you are working, pick up the phone, do the video. The video is so much better now. I whinge about WebEx, but to be fair, seeing other people, feel connected to people. That's the basic thing for it, is to feel connected. I've, you know, as some of you will know, I've actually been sort of meeting up or bumping into people and having chats with them. So again, at the end of the day, it's maybe that's wrong or right, but I've been doing that for one or another reasons, and I'll go into that later. Yeah, so if you're working, I think that is great. Is a great way of just making sure that you stay connected, stay in your workplace. If you're working from home, I think that's a really good way of just planning your days ahead, and just planning how you do that, and just taking yourself out of that space and putting yourself back into your space. We don't know how long this is going to go on, so what would you know, we just have to make sure that we're as comfy as possible. And again, if you're it's a little bit like your messy desk. I have a messy desk, I can't do anything. It just does my head in. I'm the same with my desktop. If my desktop's messy, I can't do anything. I've got to have things, I'm a bit OCD with that, but I've got to have things organised, so then I'm organised and the head's organised. Alright, so workplace. But let's talk about us now. So the mental and physical health, mindfulness. There are lots of things that we can do for mindfulness, for staying relaxed, for keeping calm, as they say. And I think many of the things are meditation, exercise. You know, we've been given this 1 day of exercise a day, so let's take that exercise and let's do that. We've also, you know, if you my back doesn't like it, but relaxing exercise like yoga or Pilates is fantastic for you. For any of this, there are apps, there are YouTube's free, so why don't you get onto YouTube and follow some stuff. Meditation, I'll put some links below for meditation. There's Rasa, who I find very easy to listen to. And just try something a bit different. If you're finding yourself a little bit stressed, then just go and have a listen. Just take 10-minute meditation, and she guided meditation, so you don't have to, where you feel that you might have to go into a right old lockdown and completely relax the mind. It doesn't work that way. A lot of us can't do that. We can't travel the universe in our mind. So we have to obviously do what we can, and it doesn't matter if you let your mind wander. Sometimes you'll talk about the breathing. Just be mindfulness of your breathing, and hopefully that'll help. Yoga, relaxing. I tell you, another good thing is reading a book. I meant to bring a couple of books down here, but if you've heard of William Paul Young, he wrote The Shack and he wrote Crossroads, and they are fantastic books. Books I didn't think to just look them up. They're very cost effective. I don't think Crossroads only a few quid maybe. The Shack is a world bestseller. I think it's a world bestseller or a New York bestseller. I can't remember. I meant to bring them with me, but I haven't brought them with me. So books are fantastic. Podcasts are fantastic as well. Books and podcasts are really good. Podcast is great for you just to sit down, put some earphones on and have a listen. Just chill out and have a listen. What's good about that is because you will then start to use your mind. So you will start with reading, you'll use your mind to picture what's going on, and also with podcasts you'll be able to use your mind instead of watching YouTube all the time and actually seeing what's going on. You kind of close yourself off to that, but I think that's a really, really good thing to do. So reading, books and podcasts, meditation, a bit of in-house Pilates and yoga to give the body a good stretch would be great as well. If you're out riding, I think it would be brilliant. Also, clean up your social media is a great thing for this as well. We've noticed very early on, as some of you will know, I'm not going to mention any names, but some of you watch this, we noticed very early on that there were, especially on Facebook, there was a lot of negativity around us being able to cycle once a day for exercise, and that upset a few people for very good reasons. I met up with Neil today down at Bramley, so we did a social distance meetup. Basically the guy hadn't, if somebody follow my Facebook, then you'll notice that I put a vlog up, I put pictures up, I put a little comment up about it, because he hasn't been out on his bike since the lockdown started, and that was, I don't think it was, a little bit stressy for him, but I think it was more of a moral ground because of all the negativity that had gone out there. So I put that my shortest video ever vlog on, which was basically asking the question, should we be out riding with the threat of Covid-19? And thank you to all my subscribers that commented, and anybody that felt positive about it. You didn't have to comment, but everybody that did comment, he read those comments and he saw, and he actually commented himself. Well, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think I should then. And I also egged him on to come down for a sausage or bacon butty today. So we both had our rides. I'd done 15 mile to get there. He'd done 16 mile, I think it was, to get there as well. And we had a coffee, we had a BAP sitting on the biggest bench going, that's lucky enough, that's just in Bramley on the main road there. And it was brilliant. We had a chat, we were there for about an hour. Andy turned up because Andy lives just round the corner, so he was on his new bike, and it was brilliant. And I tell you what, I think it did everybody a world of good. I think it did Neil a world of good, because now he can't wait probably to get out tomorrow, and he said he was going to get out all weekend, so that's brilliant. I'm obviously not going to meet him again this weekend, because it's, I still feel as though it's not right. But we finished, we went our separate ways, and we made sure we went our separate ways, because I tell you, the only reason why we can't do that and ride together is because if you ride together, you basically, your Strava will say you rode with so and so, and at the moment that's wrong. So you can tell by both of us of riding, we've both ridden our separate ways, and at the end of the day it did him the world of good. So I have to say that it was brilliant. But I also wanted to say thank you to you guys for commenting. It was brilliant. It was, yeah, worked very well. Basically worked. I just had to go to work on that one, and it was easy to do. So it was good to see you, Neil. It's good to see Andy as well. Well done, mate. And yeah, fantastic stuff on that side of things. So cleaning up your social media, basically, if you're finding something's not working for you or upsetting you, block it for 30 days. On Facebook you can block it for 30 days, and you can unblock it whenever you want. But what that will do will just take that off your mind. You won't have to put up with those comments. You won't have to put up with people's opinions. You know, it's just so easy to do. Just go into, click it, 30-day block for 30 days. I think it's a 30-day rest. Also, the news. Okay, I'm not going to get political on this one, but basically I think you're finding that government are doing their daily chat every 2 or 3 days. I might go on there and watch the government do their chat. The funny thing is if you watch the government, I watch it on YouTube, watch it, and you'll watch the whole thing and listen to what they've got to say, and then you can see the headlines that the papers are using to basically scare us into thinking that this is one. I think one comment was, it is this blah blah blah, we're going to be looking at the outcome of the lockdown for the 3 weeks. It could be done in a month, it could take 6 months, you know. And then basically you found that literally within minutes you had the Sun, everybody making the headlines that we could have been locked down for 6 months. It's kind of like, it's not really what she said, but that's the problem with the news. So take a break from the news. I've told you once and I'll tell you again, I do not listen to the news. We have to find the news. That we have found our ways to find the news. Where we go for that, we've learned over the years where to go. And if we see something shared that we don't trust, we will go to these places like the government website. We will go and check these are real before we make any assumptions. All right. So that is a brilliant way as well. Feel productive. Now, obviously, if you're going out on your daily rides, then that's brilliant. You know, I think you find that you'll have daily tasks that you can do. I've got a list as long as my arm that I could do in the house. And am I going to do some of that this week? I am. I've got a website to try and put together. I'll have a go at that. And there's obviously we've been doing some spring cleaning already. So, you know, feel productive. Make sure that you're feeling as though you are achieving something in this time, because the last thing you want is after being locked down for the whole of April and then thinking, oh, I wish I had a week that I could have done that. Now's the time to do that. Make a list of the things that you want that you could do and just go through them. Don't have to go through them all, but if you make it productive, then you'll feel better for that as well. There's a lot of problems as well with dealing with stressful situations at home. This isn't going to be easy for a lot of families. So, you know, there are a lot of helplines out there. I'll put some links in below for that. I'm not going to talk to you about that. We're quite calm people, apart from my ranting. But you know, me and Anne, and we're very open with Brennan. So we're not gonna sort of get into that situation where we're going to be each other's throats. So, and that's not what I really mean, but dealing with any stressful situation at home can be difficult, and I appreciate that there are going to be a lot of people that are worrying, probably people that are out of work. There's a lot of situations. The pubs aren't open for a fact, you know, so you know, there's nowhere for somebody to go and to just to relieve their stress, in a sense. So I'll put some links down below in the description for anybody that would like to go and just go and have a look. Just people like the Samaritans and Women's Aid, helplines and things like that. All right, so I'll make sure that that's all in there for you. But you can reach out for help as well. So, you know, make sure that you know, call a friend, anybody like that. But some of these situations, we'll appreciate that could kind of get worse. Yeah, so you know, I'm no expert on that, but it's not a great time for some people, and it's not a great time at all for people that are already in an abusive relationship. So it'll probably get worse for them, which isn't a nice thought for anybody. But links down below, people. That's really it. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't babble on too long, which I know it's 30 minutes. There's no real cut in this, so if you get to manage to watch this, all great. If not, not a problem. I appreciate, take out what you can from it, and hopefully we can all come out the other side feeling a lot better. So don't forget, you know, if you're in stressful situations, mindfulness is all about it. Food is something I didn't touch on. See, I did make a note of food. So food is massive. You know, watch what you eat. I know. Look at me, man. I'm putting weight on because it's easy just to pick instead of go and make something. And trying to get hold of food at the moment, because the thought of going to the supermarket for me is bloody stressful. So I'm not even going to bother with that. So yeah, just make sure that you're eating well, proper food. Luckily enough, all the fast foods are closed at the moment, so yeah, so that's going to make it a bit easier. But just make sure that you're doing well, make sure you're eating well, make sure you're staying safe. Appreciate everybody that's around you. We're all going through exactly the same thing, so lots of love, people. Stay safe, stay well, and hopefully, very hopefully, we'll see you on the road very soon.